Okay, similar triangles and slope. So we've been talking about slope, and we've talked about the fact that slope is the change in y over the change in x. Okay, we talked about how that's the same thing as slope being a formula where you subtract the y's over subtracting the x's. And remember, these little numbers right here, that just means what point they came from. Okay, the ones that have 1 on it comes from point 1, and the ones that have 2 on it come from point 2. That's all that means. Okay, so let's come down here and let's look at this. We're going to highlight some stuff. When figures have the same shape, but not necessarily the same size, we can call these similar figures. And similar figures have what are called corresponding parts. Now, that may sound like a bunch of words that you don't quite understand, but we're going to look at it in just a second. Okay, I'm going to look at the words part, and I know it's a lot of words. It's okay. If two triangles are similar, so if we know that they're similar, then their corresponding angles are congruent. Okay, so that means, for those of you who don't remember what congruent means, congruent is basically saying that the angle measures are equal. Okay, so that the congruent means that they're talking about the angle measures are equal. That's what it's talking about. Okay, and the ratios of the corresponding sides are proportional. Okay, so we're going to talk about that right now. So let's come over here. Okay. So I'm going to come over here for symbols. Let's look at symbols first. See this right here? Okay, those are the symbols for congruent. This right here means congruent. And what this right here, and maybe I don't know how much you've learned about this symbol right here. That symbol right there, that symbol means angle. So it's saying on this first one right here, it says angle A is equal or is congruent to angle X. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to look at angle A, and they drew this right here, and angle X. Those are called arc marks. This arc mark, there's only one of them, and it shows that A and X have the same measure. If I look at angle B, I'll change my color for this. If I'm looking at angle B, I'm looking at this right here. You see how it has two arc marks? That is the same measure as angle Y. They have the exact same angle measure. They are congruent to each other. Then I want to do orange. Then we have three arc marks. Sorry, I had to make it bigger. Okay, three arc marks for angle C and angle Z. Okay, so I'm going to do this a little bit. Angle A and angle X are congruent. Angle B and angle Y are congruent, and angle C and angle Z are congruent. So in order to have similar triangles, that has to be true. Okay, now, could we flip the triangles upside down and move them all around? Yes. Okay. So the next part it's talking about is they're proportional. That means proportional means that you're going to have two or more ratios, two or more fractions set equal to each other. Okay, so I'm going to highlight, we'll do yellow. So AB, do you know, and sometimes people say, well, how do I know which ones go to which? If I look at angle A, that has one arc mark. Angle B has two arc marks. So I go to the other triangle that has those same arc marks. Angle X and angle Y have those same arc marks. So those are the parts that are corresponding. So they put AB over XY. They are corresponding parts. Then it talks about BC. So it's talking about this part right here. That corresponds to this part right here. And last but certainly not least, I'll do purple. It's talking about AC and XZ. They are corresponding. Okay? Corresponding, corresponding parts are proportional. So if I look at an AB, AB says that it's, oh, you know what? I'm going to use the color it corresponds to. 4. XY says it's 8. And I'll do an equal sign. And then we have BC. BC is a greenish color. So BC was 3. And YZ is 6. And then I'll do purple. And AC is 5. And XZ is 10. So if I was to simplify these fractions when I'm doing this, this would be 1/2 equals 1/2, which equals 1/2. Are they equal to each other? Yes. Okay, so that's how we tell if they're proportional. Or sorry, that they're similar. Sorry about that. Triangle ABC and triangle BDE are both right triangles, and they fall on the same line in the corresponding plane. These right triangles are called slope triangles. Okay? Slope triangles. I don't want to do purple. And that means they're similar, so their corresponding sides are proportional. Okay? So the vertical and horizontal sides of the slope triangles are the same as the rise and run of the line. So if I look at this, remember, I'm going to do change it. Oops, that's a highlighter. Change in Y is the rise. The change in X is the run. And yes, I'm going to put a, there we go. So if I look at this, it says AC down here. So AC right here, I guess I should do the highlighter for this. AC over BE. So they're both the rise on both of the triangles. Then we look at BC. BC is the run. DE is the run. Okay. Now, I don't necessarily want to do this. Okay, I'll explain what they're doing. Okay, so because we want to have rise over run, they're taking they're taking the BE. Oops, that is a marker, not a highlighter. Sorry about that. They're taking the BE and the BC, and they're multiplying both sides by that. Because now this, sorry, this is going to cancel out with here. This is going to cancel out here. So that now we have AC over BC, which will get you the rise over the run and the rise over the run. So now we can set this up and we still get 2. Okay, so all they were doing just now was proving that these are proportional. Okay, so if I was to look at this, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I did my run, I would do 1, 2, 3. Now, if I looked at my other triangle, I would do 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would go over 1, 2. Now, if I simplify my fraction, I get 2 over 1. I get 2 over 1. They are the same. Okay. So if I look at this, it wants the rise and the run of the larger triangle. So if I look at the larger triangle here, I'm going down. I went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So minus 6. I went to the right 1, 2, 3. So I have negative 6 over 3, which gets me negative 2. Then I do the smaller triangle. If I look at this, I go down 1, 2. Oh, negative 2. So negative 2. Then I put that over. I go over 1. So that'll get me negative 2. So the slope of the line, if I was going to use this, I would say my slope is negative 2. Where they got that information was, guys, they did this. Oops, I almost did the wrong thing. They went from here. They did these. So they went up, or they went, sorry, they went to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, and they went down 8. Okay, so here, um, here, so we did AB. So if I'm doing AB, it went up 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going across 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If I'm going from C to D, I would go up here, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I would go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's where that came from. So the slope of the line is 4/3. Okay, so let's look over here at this one. We're going to find this AB, this right here. So we go up 1, 2, 3. We go over 1, 2. So the rise is 3, the run is 2. Then we're going to do it with the other one. So we come up. So we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to run over 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I simplify my fraction, I get 3/2. So my slope is 3 over 2. So we're going to do the same thing here. Okay, I start here. I go down 2. Oh, I should have done this. The slope for this one is down 2, and I go over 1. If I do the slope up here, I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Or sorry, I went down 4. I should have done it like that. And I went over to the right 2. And this would simplify to negative 2, and this would simplify to negative 2. Okay, so the pitch of a roof refers to the slope of the roof of the line, to the roof line. Choose 2 points on the roof and find the pitch of the roof shown. So I'm going to pick 2 points. So we'll start with this one. Okay, so from here to here, that's 1. From here to here, that's 2. So my slope would be 1 over 2. Then I'm supposed to do it with another one. So I'm doing it with this one right here. That's 2. And I'm going over here, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And if I simplify that fraction, I would get 1 over 2. So the slope is 1/2. The pitch is the same. To make sure that you have the same line, or that it's a line that goes straight, all of the slopes would have to be exactly the same. Okay, so here we go. Sorry. I'll do all of them. Let's do this. Okay. The smallest triangle would be that. And then the medium triangle, and then the large. Okay, so here we go. So if I'm doing the small triangle, this gets me 2 here. And this gets me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2/5. So let's make sure it's on the same line. So that means I have to do here. So this is 1, 2. Oh, I messed up. That would be negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I went down 4. So now I'm coming across here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that was 5, so that's a total of 10. Then this one, I'm going down. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So minus 6. And I'm going to go across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 10 would be 15. Okay, so if I simplified each one of my fractions, this one would be negative 2 over 5. This one would be negative 2 over 5. So the answer is negative 2 over 5.